Hey, we got another great guest today. He's my college teammate from William Patterson, and he's currently the head football coach at DePaul Catholic, and he's soon to be the athletic director in July 1st. So he's going to be the football coach and the athletic director at DePaul Catholic. So I'm excited to talk to my buddy, Johnny McKenna. So here he is. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get on, John. Come on. Get on the show, John. Come on, Johnny. John McKenna. Come on. Come on, John. You got to accept it. You got to accept it. It's waiting for you to accept it. You're connected. You were there, Coach?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Unfortunately, I can see you, too. You look better on the radio. What's up?
Yeah. Getting old. Getting old.
Oh, yeah? Oh, what's up, man? Good to have you on our show. I needed ratings to go up, so I gave you a call, and here we are, just using you for the ratings.
I gotta wear my glasses so I can't see.
Oh, that's all right. That's great, man. All right, let me introduce you, John. All right, I know you know that I know who you are, but for our program, I'm talking with the current head football coach at DePaul Catholic, who is also going to be the athletic director July 1st. So he's going to have two things on his plate, being the head coach and the athletic director at DePaul Catholic. And I want to congratulate you on winning your 5th state championship of non-public schools. That's a great job, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a good run. So
yeah, you need another finger now to put your rings on.
Well, hopefully next year.
Yeah,
Hopefully
well,
next year.
We're going to talk a little bit about your team, and I kind of think you got a good chance of getting back to where you want to get to this year. John, a real funny story when I told people that I was talking with you tonight. 7-on-7 is over the summer, all right? I want everybody to hear this. I took our football program, Barnegat, to Rutgers, and we competed in 7-on-7, and we got a chance to talk before when we were checking in. You told me your team was okay. We're young. You sandbag. You sandbag.
We were young.
What?
We were young.
You're young. Okay, you're young. Okay. So the week before, you just won the Monmouth 7-on-7, which had around 30-something schools there. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So nice job by your youth. Okay. So now at Rutgers, I'm checking in, and you told me, yeah, we're young. We'll see how we do, blah, blah, blah. And at Rutgers, you all go to different areas and play. And if you advance in your section, if you win your section in 7-on-7, you play into a final 16 round. Well, you were playing in the stadium. We're playing outside the stadium. We won our section. We were undefeated. And they told us that you are now going in the stadium to play a game. They didn't tell me who I was playing, though. Meanwhile, you text me and you say, Mouse, get in here. You're playing us. What? So here we are, little old Barnegat, feeling good about ourselves, and we're playing DePaul Catholic, this young team, really, right? Well, you guys beat us, but we proudly tell people that we lost to the champions of Rutgers 7-on-7. And you had a great summer. You won your Monmouth 7-on-7, your Rutgers 7-on-7, and you just rolled and had a great season with a very young team that you got kind of excited about this year too, right?
So I mean, we had 9. You're circling. You hear me? You good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we were very young. We started, I think, 1 or 2 seniors on defense. I mean, we only had 9 seniors on our whole team. So we played a lot of sophomores, a lot. And they got better as the season went on, so it was fun.
That's got to be a lot of fun going into the off season, but unfortunately, we're going to talk about it right now. Yeah. What's dealing with the off season, quarantining now in the household of yours? Okay, how are you dealing with quarantining?
Well, everyone came back home. I got 2 kids in college, and they're both up at Ithaca, and they both came home. So we got a full house. They got bored. They bought another dog. So now I got a puppy. I got 2 dogs running around the house. So, we're staying busy. My son plays in college, so I bring him up to DePaul so he gets on the field and work out. And so we get out of the house a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're in North Jersey, and I'm sure, you're close to New York. We're more, we're more down south, but we're still close enough to each other. We're feeling the same effects.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've had some parents on my team pass away, so we're dealing with that. A couple families and a couple grandparents pass away. It's pretty tough up here.
It's just a very ongoing sad thing all over the country. It's sad to do that with quarantining. How's your team doing? With communicating. Are they communicating with each other at all?
Yeah, well, we meet with them 3 days a week. I watch my son. They're always on Zoom meetings at Ithaca College, and I'm like, you know what? We should start doing this. So we meet with them 3 days a week on Zoom just to keep them accountable, keep them on a routine, and most of all to see each other and to see us. I think it's important that they continue seeing our faces. I could stay with them on top of their grades during that time. But mostly just to see each other. They start busting each other and having fun, and it's good time.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that in 2 weeks, starting with that. But yeah, that's the thing. The kids need to see each other, bond, just like you and I were doing 25. How many years ago was that? 25, 30 years ago?
Almost 30
years ago, when we were sitting on the couch playing those video games for money, little bets, Yeah. They thought Jordan was bad on the documentary. I mean, our football team, oh my God. That's like you wouldn't believe it. We're not even going to get into the defensive bus, right, with all the betting that was going on there.
We had a lot of good times. A
lot of good times. Good times, man. Okay, Coach McKenna, the process is very important in our shows, and I want you to talk about how you got to where you are right now as the head coach and soon to be AD. Talk about how you started football when you started playing, and walk us through where you went through your playing days to your coaching days to where we are right now.
Sure. Well, I've had a lot of really good coaches, and that's the reason why I'm still coaching. I first started when I was 8 years old playing for my father. My father coached me from 8 to, I got to high school, 8 to 13. Then I played for a legendary coach up in North Jersey at Paul 6. His name is Jack Jones. He passed away, but everyone up here in North Jersey knows him. And then, believe it or not, I was not a great student. I was not a good student. So I applied to a lot of colleges, didn't get into a ton. And the ones I did, I had to take some summer courses.
And we had a truth. We're going to talk about our academics in college. You and I. So go.
It's not great, So I was one of the only schools that took me was Western Connecticut, so I was all set to go there.
Right.
Then I didn't really want to go there. It's just I had to go there, So I had my coach call Coach Gallagher, and Coach Gallagher got me in last second, and then he got me housing up there, even though I only lived 20 minutes away. I didn't want to live at home. But he got me housing, and it's the best decision of my life.
He did a lot for a lot of people, that guy. He was on our show a couple days ago. He really, really did with that.
You took that special admit. Like, I had to do that. I had to do that also. I would have to go to the trailers and do the extra English, but it was well worth it.
I mean, think of that. Think about you and I both being special admits. And at that time, when we were with our tutors, we're going to tell them, in 30 years from now, we're going to talk live on Instagram, and we're going to have a nice resume. They would laugh at us. They would laugh. I remember them saying, if you don't take this seriously, you are going to be out of our college, right? So, yeah, that's that. So when we were yelling at our kids, we're talking it through experience, what we went through with that. Coach, talk about now your outstanding football program at DePaul Catholic. Now, you and I talked briefly earlier today. You got to a point where you were being competitive, then all of a sudden you were now on the elite level.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. And it just shows when you look at your schedule on Gridiron how you just went you're competitive, and then you just hit an elite level. Talk about your program, the kind of players you have in there, the recruiting. You got a lot of different coaches going in and out there. And who do you play?
Well, I've been there for I've been coaching there for 23 years. I first started off at this Group 1 school in Midland Park. I was supposed to coach with Joe Grassi there, and he actually passed away right before our season that we were supposed to coach together. And that was a good experience. I did that for 3 years. And then Coach Lennon, who's the AD, the current AD, who I'm taking over for in July, was the head coach who called me up and asked if I wanted to coach. And I did. My sister went there, and I knew a lot about the school and a lot about him and a lot about the program. Mm-hmm. I mean, DePaul Catholic's only had four head coaches in 70 years. So it's got a good tradition and history. So when I took over, we were just playing local towns. I mean, I played Coach Gallagher when he was head coach at Montville. Paul, all North Jersey schools. And then they decided to separate the publics and the privates in North Jersey. Mm-hmm. But we got thrown in right away with the big boys. So it was sink or swim. I mean, we got thrown in with Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco, St. Peter's, Rams Catholic, Del Barton, the list. Every school, we don't play a public school, so we got thrown with the big boys. So it was sink or swim. And luckily, I had a really good group of juniors. They weren't ready yet, and a really good freshman class. And we got butts kicked the first year in the conference. I mean, we were losing every game by 28 points, at least 28, 35 points. But we kept getting better. And we went 5-5 that year. It was, but when we played the big boys, we weren't ready to compete yet. The following year, which started the run, I mean, not many schools can say that. We beat Bosco and Bergen Catholic in the same year. And we went on, had a nice run. Holy Spirit had a really, really good team that year, and we beat them in the state championship that year. We were Group 2 that year. Mm-hmm. They had a kick over stamp. They had a really solid team that year. And, really, just from there, we just kind of, kids wanted to play in that conference. I mean, we're all on top of each other up here, too. Like, we're all within 20 miles of each other. So, kids just know each other, and they just want to play the best competition and get the exposure that they can get up in North Jersey in this league. And the conference brings great players. So it brought so many great opportunities, and we've been able to keep it going. And like I said, we're young this year, so I expect to keep going next year. Hopefully win a 6th state champion.
So you're saying that your conference, which is all parochials, are kind of all together?
Yeah, we're all fighting for the same kids. I mean, we're all right on top of each other. So, they have their choice to go to any of our schools, and they can get to any of them because we're like it's not spread out like it is down in South Jersey.
Right. Well, it's almost like a regional conference if you think about it. Then, if everybody close with that.
And every week is a battle. I mean, there's so many great players. The kid you're going up against could be going Alabama, Ohio State. I mean, it's a battle. You could throw out records. I mean, we're young last year. We walk into Bergen Catholic. They're loaded, and we wound up beating them, the last game of the year, and that got us rolling into the playoffs again.
Well, Del Barton was middle of the pack for a couple years, and then they would play a team that had a very high record around here and smoke them. And they were like, somebody's got to lose in your conference. And it doesn't make it fair.
Del Barton's very good, and they got a really good quarterback return. They're a scary team. And Coach Gallagher coached that Del Barton, so I see him every year. Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're in a conference where everybody's good, somebody's going to have a bad record. But when it comes to playoff time, you don't want to play. You don't want to play somebody's team. So, yeah, that's really neat. I mean, I got to see your athletes up close, and you guys are definitely well coached. You got an outstanding coaching staff with Campanile, the offensive coordinator. His brother was the head coach at Rutgers.
Mhm.
I love talking to these coaches. When I had the luxury of Division I schools coming to my program, and when I say my buddy from DePaul, they laugh and they know you. It's awesome. It's really awesome. But you always got a lot of flow of traffic coming into your school every single season. And you got to love that, right?
I do. I mean, I've built some awesome relationships. I mean, I'm very friendly with those guys, and it's awesome. But, going back to like William Patterson, I've had a lot of William Patterson. Sorry, I thought my son was coming in. Like Andre Evans' son played for me. Dwan Parker helped coach my freshman team.
Yeah.
So like anytime we could get together and like eventually, who knows? I may move down south and hopefully coach with you one day.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Well, my nephew played for you.
Yeah.
My wife from Barnegat.
Yes. Yeah, she knows me.
I know. So
yeah, that's great, man. That would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe some all-star game. All us William Patterson guys can one day coach all together. Tell me that would be a lot of fun.
Just getting together would be fun. I mean, I miss you guys. So I have a group chat with you're on it, and we just all start busting each other, but we're all rooting for each other too. Anytime we're in a big game, everyone's like, good luck, and it's awesome just to get together.
And Coach Gallagher, I think Tony DeRosa is him or Coach Gallagher is setting up a big Zoom reunion.
Are they going to do it?
Yeah, with that era of 5-year football at William Patterson, which we're going to talk about right now. But let's condense it to the 3 years. So in my 5 years there, we had 3 years where we were at William Patterson. We turned it around: 8-2-1, 8-2, 7-4, ECAC playoffs, and the NCAA playoffs. That was the best era of football at William Patterson. Would you agree?
We should be in the hall. Those teams, telling you right now, everyone from William Patterson administration, you want to get us all back on campus, we should be in the Hall of Fame.
If you want Mount Davis and John McKenna on campus,
the team should be in the Hall of Fame. They should. They should. They invite us up for a halftime. We all need to get together. We're all dying to see each other. Get us back on campus. Celebrate. They were the last winning team.
And ticket sales would be up if they knew we were all coming. It just moved up.
I don't know about that. We'd be having fun.
Oh, that's awesome, man. But that was Coach Gallagher just turned that program, right around so quickly with how he took control and won everybody, and everybody's coming from different circles of their world, and we were a close group of football players, weren't we? We hung out all the time.
But you can tell, you can still tell today how much he loved us and we'd do anything for him. He comes up to you, you don't need to see him all the time. He comes up to you and he talks about everyone. He asks a million questions. How's this one doing? How's this one doing? It's all the time. He loves us.
He's got a lot of fire in him, man.
Yeah, he does. And he's just a tremendous man. Tremendous.
What a great resource of football too. If anybody can get a hold of and talk to him, he's still doing clinics as we speak. He's doing it for the state. He just did one on special teams.
He's everywhere. Everywhere.
He's awesome.
He's everywhere. He loves
it. It's
football.
great.
Loves it.
The thing that he tells me all the time how proud he is that in that 5 years of football, our program, our teammates, 16 players that he coached during that span of football became head coaches in New Jersey. Now, John, in my other show, we were talking about it. I'm going to read off the names because it's hard to just pick out the guys and all that unless we write them down. Here's the guys. In the short conference, you got me at Barnegat, you got Nick Giglio and at Red Bank, and Lenny Zdanowicz at Breck.
Yep.
Right?
Just saw him at the Monmouth one. Yep.
And then yourself at DePaul, Al White at Weekway, Tony DeRosa, Egg Harbor, Rick DeMona, Montville, Brian Leary, Highland, Scott Santora, Fort Lee, Bob Lake, North Plainfield, Jerry Moore has been at Hanover Park and Parsippany, Jim Delaney at High Point, Adonis Blue, Lincoln, Jason Herda at Parsippany, Mike Bryan, J.T. Stevens, and remember Pac-Man, John Peskowski?
Yeah.
Franklin and Point Beach, right there.
And he started at the University of Maryland.
Yeah, and don't forget Dave McCarthy, who we all utilize with his recruiting, New Jersey scouting. The McCarthy report was on our team too. We got that. And then you had Greg Lasardi, who became a head coach, who took some other guys with him. So our tree of football is pretty extensive, man. I mean, bunch of guys that we would never think would be head coaches, and there was also numerous assistant coaches. I would probably say another 15, 20 guys that were assistant coaches, like you said. Juwan was a coach with you too, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
And now everyone's having kids who are playing football too, and it's just. I remember talking to Kevin Harmon. He showed me pictures of his nephew, Pat Harmon's kid. What a stud that kid is. I was trying to get him to go up to the ball.
I'm trying to get him to
the
the ball.
Unbelievable. The kid's unbelievable.
Harmon's kid was a freshman at Shore Regional.
It's unbelievable.
We play him every year. I'm not looking forward to it, man.
I saw him in 8th grade. I was trying to get him to move up here. He was unbelievable.
He's going to be a good one. He moves like a Harmon. I mean, he's a Harmon.
Yes.
Harmons were awesome football players at William Patterson and good teammates too with that. But I mean, when you reminisce and think about all the coaches that were on our football team that have helped the game of football in New Jersey, and like yourself, won championships, been coach of the year, it's got to be something that's satisfying, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's satisfying. But it's like I credit Coach Gallagher with it. There's got to be a reason for it, and it all comes back to him. I mean, I graduated with a business degree. The minute I graduated, and it took me a long time to graduate, but once I did, I'm like, I'm not doing this. So I went into coaching, and then I went back to school for phys ed and health, and it's the one common denominator is William Patterson football and Coach Gallagher. I mean,
yeah, so. Crazy. Like you and I, college was the best 8 years of our lives. It was awesome.
It took a while. My father wasn't too happy with me, but it took a while. But we got it done.
We got it done. I mean, looking back, I think we are successful, and we still are successful in what we're doing. Ultimately, I love it when my coaches go out and become head coaches, or my players come back to coach. And you're getting that now, right? Guys that coach are coming back and coaching.
Well, I was. It's starting to dry up a little bit, but I've always tried to hire alumni. I really have. I enjoy having those guys come back to me. A lot of times they'll come back, but then they'll have to leave because they get married and then they got to go for that public school money. We don't get paid too well in a private school, so they got to go there. But I have one philosophy for the younger coaches. And, in the beginning, and I'm sure you did too, is we tried to do everything, and let your coaches coach. That's the way they're going to learn. If they have the input, they're going to put in the time, and and that's the goal, is to get them ready to be the next head coach.
Yeah, that word is delegate. And that's one thing I've been doing a lot more. It's tough as a coach because you don't have as much power. Control is the word. But that's over half the battle with that.
You're breaking up.
Yeah. So, Coach, I want to thank you, man, for being on this show. It was great to hear you talk and talk about DePaul Catholic. We're going to get together again with Coach Gallagher with that reunion, though. We are going to do that and have some fun. You know what he said?
We got to get together. I mean, I was on we were so bored the other night, me, Tony, and Dan. We're trying to get all the guys just on a quick Zoom meeting. We were out having a couple of adult beverages, with the weather being nice, and it was just full seeing everybody.
Yeah, test guy you're talking about, huh?
Yeah, Danny, of course, Danny.
I think we're going to just have a segment on Dan Test Guy on live.
Yeah, we can't do that.
That's what great guys make us laugh. So I had a lot of people excited to see you talk. We have a lot of people that have been on here, and people are messaging me. They're going to see you tonight talking on here. I'm going to post this later on. I appreciate you talking, John. I know you got meetings tonight.
Well, all William Patterson guys whose sons are getting to high school, send them to DePaul. Go.
Or Barney.
Or Barney.
I want to turn our school to Barney Catholic. I want to be Barney Catholic, and then we compete. All right, let's do that. But all right, John, I appreciate you coming on. I'm proud to say we're buddies, and I'm looking forward to seeing you win your 6th championship there. Here's my question: when you become the AD, is your responsibilities going to change on your campus?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have to teach anymore, so I won't be teaching phys ed, so I'll be AD, and I'll be in charge of all the sports. So it's going to be a learning experience, but I'm excited for it.
And when you're the AD, you're going to have a new coach, correct?
Well, not this year. I'll be my own boss for this 1 year, and then the following year, Nick Campany will be taking over.
So what I'm trying to say is this like your current retirement right now?
This is, this is my swan song for
right now. You can enjoy every moment, aren't you?
Oh, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to finally enjoy it. And, so you can look around and enjoy, knowing it's the last year. So
that's pretty cool. And to have a great group of guys like you were talking about last night to me about your guys. And you got great coaches. So enjoy the ride.
Coaches and tremendous coaches. They're going to continue doing great things. And I'll miss it, but, it's time to do something else.
Awesome. Well, you had a great career. I still think you got a lot of gas in the tank, but for right now, you're stepping aside after this season to give it to Coach Campanile, correct?
Correct. Yep. A tremendous coach. Smart. And our defense, my whole coaching staff is awesome.
Awesome. So they're in good hands. You'll still be there. Enjoy it, bud. Enjoy it. And we're going to get on the football. We can bump tags again. I'll talk to you guys later.